Yes, yes, yes. Another season has come and gone. The 2015 season of the WNBA comes to a close. The big win from the Minnesota Lynx. Congrats to all. Sylvia Fowles with probably the best game of her career. Well-deserved WNBA Finals MVP award. The Lynx are just incredible. One of the best franchises that this league has ever been blessed with. In my mind, second only to the Houston Comets at this point. I'm going to reflect a little bit on the 2015 season. Talk about some of the pleasant surprises and the disappointments. I'll start off with the disappointments and end off the video on a good note for next season. Fifth biggest disappointment, I would have to say, would be Bria Hartley's injury. She suffered an ankle injury which sabotaged her minutes this season. She had a promising season last year as a rookie. I thought she complemented Ivory Lotta and Carol Lawson and the rest very well. It was tough to see her in limited action. I had high hopes for her in 2015. She comes with that UConn seal of approval, as we all know. All I could say is that I wish her the best next year. Fourth biggest disappointment would have to be Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. I had anticipated a better game, a tighter game, given the atmosphere and that it was a Game 5 and both teams had played such tough basketball up until that point. Instead, the first half was atrocious, shooting-wise. I mean, the Fever and the Lynx shot under 35%. The Fever had 19 turnovers when it was all said and done. You know, as much as I loved Stephanie White, first rookie coach ever to make it to the finals ever, I don't think that the Fever would have turned over the ball so much under Lynn Dunn's watch. Lynn Dunn would have lit a match like you wouldn't believe under the Fever. Yes, the Fever did play better in the fourth quarter, but of course it was too little too late. They seemed to save their worst game for last, and that's just too bad. Too bad. Third biggest disappointment, in my opinion, would have to be the officiating. The officiating was not good this year. Not in the regular season, not during the playoffs. Coaches like Cheryl Reeve and Stephanie White have all complained, and rightfully so, I think. I've seen some bonehead calls and non-calls all year long. I think you'll see some new faces next year. Believe me, the league will definitely look at this, and hopefully we'll see some improvement on that end in 2016. Second biggest disappointment, I would have to say, Shoni Schimmel. Expected such amazing things from this young woman, the Atlanta Dream point guard. She had such an exciting season last year. She was magnificent to watch. She was the All-Star Game MVP. Man, but she came into the 2015 campaign out of shape. The turnovers were piling up. She was 2 or 3 steps too slow on defense. The field goal percentage wasn't there. Her shot was not crisp. You know, Coach Cooper had to sit her down, and she deserved that. A case could be made that she cost the Dream a playoff berth. You know, the Dream could have slid into that 4th spot. They lost so many games in that first half. It was horrible. It was unexpected because I really thought that they would make the playoffs. And they didn't. They just lost game after game after game. And much of that was due to an unstable backcourt. They've shuffled their guards so much over the last few years. Shoni did have a better second half, but again, too little too late. Hopefully she'll know better next year and realize what she means to the Dream. Number one biggest disappointment for me of the 2015 WNBA season would have to be undoubtedly Skylar Diggins' ACL tear. Man, this was tough to watch. It was probably less than a minute to go in the game, and Skylar Diggins suffers an ACL tear. You know, I was hoping it was a bruised knee, a meniscus tear at worst, but that ACL tear bug hit Skylar, and the shock, the shock were in first place. It was the best start that they had ever experienced since moving to Tulsa. But big ups to Planette Pearson, Odyssey Sims, and Courtney Paris for holding it down and making it into the playoffs in spite of the loss. Shock could be nasty next year, especially if Glory Johnson returns along with Diggins. That, I must say, is a team that I would really have my eyes on to wreck next year when they play in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll see in 2016. And now for the surprises. Brittany Boyd. Wow, what can you say? The California native and New York Liberty rookie guard. It's such a pleasure to watch in 2015. So fast, so hungry, so fearless. just giving teams the business. And then, of course, we heard at the end of the season that she broke her wrist and wouldn't be able to play in the playoffs. Hey, I don't know how much farther that Liberty would have gone with her in there, but I certainly missed her playing during that time. Hope she stays healthy for the 2016 season. I really think that she's a keeper. She should be around for a long time. She's a very determined player, and I know Lambert likes her. We all like her, and best of luck to her next year. Fourth best surprise would have to be Stephanie White. I knew the Fever would make the playoffs, but I didn't know that they would make it this far, and it turns out that they were the most exciting team of the postseason this year. They played in 6 elimination games and won 5 of them. I was very impressed with Stephanie's coaching. She's learned well from Lynn Dunn and seems to know how to get her players on the same page without much hassle. I think she'll be with Indy for a long time. Number 3 would have to be Kia Stokes of the New York Liberty. She was the Brittany Griner of the East on defense. The block parties she threw were a lot of fun to watch, very strong for such a young player. There was some controversy as to whether or not she should have won Rookie of the Year. To me, that was a complete toss-up. Drew Lloyd had an impressive second half. But hey, at least Kia made the playoffs. It was an awesome pick by the New York Liberty. Very fortunate to get Kia Stokes in the draft. I see her getting stronger and stronger as the years go by. Number 2 would have to be Candace Parker. Oh my gosh, this woman, she takes the first half off. I'm thinking, you know what, maybe she had some kind of injury, maybe a sore shoulder, bad knees, whatever. The Sparks end up being 3-14 by the All-Star break. Candace puts on her costume and voila. She averages damn near triple-double every game and even came close to a quadruple-double in one game. She was fascinating to watch, and the thing that impressed me about her the most were her number of assists per game. I saw a lot of maturity, a lot of leadership from Candace this year. Not that I didn't see it before, but she raised the bar in those departments, and it was great to watch. Number 1 would have to be Sylvia Fowles. When I heard that Big Sil was going to leave the Chicago Sky after making it to the finals just last year, I was kind of shocked. I was blown away. I didn't know what to make of it. I thought that she was jealous of Elena Del Don getting all of the attention, but by mid-season, the Lynx grab her, and even though things looked kind of shaky in the beginning, Big Sil finally found her bearings and ended up becoming the WNBA Finals MVP. I mean, Game 5 was probably the best game of her career. Indy had no answer for her. I mean, Alana Larkins was virtually helpless. You know what? It's because of this trait that I think the Lynx may win again next year. The only thing that would be in their way is the health thing. But other than that, I really believe the Lynx will be the first team to win back-to-back titles since God knows when. But there you have it. The 5 top surprises and disappointments of the 2015 season. Peace.